Hey guys, this is Michael here, and this is like oh good God, who knows how many. But what I'm doing here right now is a footnote, so to speak, to a paragraph not yet written, but to the music of David Greenberger, or the videos that I want to do about David Greenberger as a musician. I came to realize that I just really couldn't do it all in just 2 videos or something like that, and so I thought I'd start with some of the small appendices or cul-de-sacs before I get to like the main thing. And this one just seemed like a natural to start with for some reason. And that would be the musician that I'm going to talk about, and about who I know anything at all, basically because of David and his sharing him with me, would be Phil Milstein. Phil Milstein, who goes when he, well, if you look up Phil Milstein on Discogs, you won't find a lot. You will find that he records under his solo stuff under the name Pep Lester and his pals. And that's what I'm going to show you today, or right now. This would be the first thing I'm going to show you. The artwork is designed by David Greenberger. It's a 4-song EP put out in 1984 on Iridescence Records. This is Iridescence X7. The songs Do It Yourself, Nothing for Granted, October, and Rebby, R-E-B-B-Y. Here's what the record looks like. And I think I'm going to just real quick jump up and put this on the turntable. I'll put on side 2, which is going to be Do It Yourself and Nothing for Granted. And hopefully by the time this is over, I will have pretty much finished everything I've got to say. But, and any of you guys really like gambling and stuff, you could probably have a good game on that. And by you guys, I mean all one of you who probably will bother watching this. Pep Lester and his pals, Jack-o'-lantern Moon. And boy, is that loud. The musicians on this recording include, or are in their entirety, Jad Fair, Eric Lindgren, Glenn Jones, Phil Milstein, who is Pep Lester himself, David Greenberger, Liz Cox, Chuck Bell, about who I'm going to speak in another short video, Jay Dabbas, Peter Wallace, Michael Kudahi. You may know who he is. He was one of the founding members of the band Christmas. There are several bands named Christmas, but I'm talking about the early, the one from the 80s, early 80s, Boston area. And also is one of the founders of Combustible Edison, and a co-founder of, I believe it was called Propeller music label, which was an independent label from way back then. Anyway, Willie Alexander, that name really rings a bell for me. Roger Miller, the guitar player from Mission of Burma out of Boston. Also, and here he's playing piano. He also was the founder of Bird Songs of the Mesozoic, although he left it pretty quickly and went on to do his own things. If you are not familiar with Bird Songs of the Mesozoic, you really ought to listen to them sometime. They are just great. Rick Scott and Martin Swope. That's that record. That's all I'm going to say. I want to rush through this, and I've only got about 3 minutes left, according to that. You know I'm going to babble beyond that. Then I have this. This is The Mathematical Genius of Pep Lester, and is Pep Lester and his pals. A record and a half of noise pop trash. And wonderful double record. I'll show it to you, the whole thing. Over 40 selections, 20 guest musicians, including, and pretty much the same people that I had listed. One cool thing about this is a photograph of Phil Milstein's foot, and each purple footprint is actually stamped by Phil Milstein using his very own foot. Each one is an original. This is there are 500 of these, and I'm thrilled to have this one. Here's an insert that comes with it, and which has a little article thing, and then some track listing and just things, you know, about the individual tracks and songs. Really great stuff. Show you the labels real quick. Each label is different and has a different name. Side A or side 1, depending on whether you're looking on, is called the fish side. That's the fish side. Then we have the womb side. And then, by the way, the vocals there, that would be Jad. I love Jad Fair. I've got to tell you, and he is also very good friends with David. This is the Pep Talk side, Pep Talk side, and this side is the Pep Rally. What this is essentially is it's an EP. The first disc is an EP with the songs Chow Alston, Disneyland, My Girlfriend Lives Like a Redneck, and We Are They That Kill Ache with Amorous Love on side 1. Side 2, the womb side, is Womb Man, Sexland, Me and the Boys, which is a song written by Terry Adams from NRBQ. And We Are They That Ache with Amorous Love, again. Different versions, if I recall. I haven't played this for a while. I'm going to have to put this on sometime very, very soon and listen to it again, because it's been, God, over a year since I've listened to it, but I remember I just really had a great time listening to it. And last of all, what I'm going to show you is this record, which is Phil Milstein and Thurston Moore, not called Pep Lester on this one. Thurston Moore playing guitar, Phil Milstein playing guitar, tape, and saw. And by saw, when I saw it, I thought, oh, musical saw. No, he means skill saw, actually, you know, with the circular blade, and that's what it is. Recorded December 4th, 1996 at the Middle East in Cambridge, Massachusetts. And this is one of 500 also. That's interesting. I just realized that. These are both, I think, one of 500s. No, I don't know. It doesn't say. No, actually, yeah, I don't. I said there are 500. I don't remember how many there are. I asked David if he knew, and he wasn't sure. He thought maybe there were 1,000 or something. This is the one that there are only 500 of. And honestly, I played this once. It's what they used to call a hall raker. It would be the kind of thing that you could put on if you wanted people to leave, unless they were maybe really stoned or something. But it's interesting in its way. And this is the most extremely experimental side of Phil Milstein that I can think you can imagine. There are a few other things I'm just going to mention that I would love to find. One of them is at the same time in 1984 and on Iridescence Records. He was involved. He was in a band called Between Meals, and they released one 12-inch mini album called "Oh No, I Just Knocked Over a Cup of Coffee" in 1984. It included Jad Fair, David Greenberger, Mo Tucker, Phil Milstein, and a couple other people whose names I'm blanking out on right now. And that he was very well known for being involved in the band in Boston back in the, I think it was the early 80s. Uzi, who released one album on Homestead. I've never seen it and I've never heard it, but it's one of those things those are both on my want list. There's another album under the name Phil Milstein, I think it is, that came out on 50 Gazillion Watts. That's God, I can see him in my mind, but I can never remember his name. At any rate, and also I should mention that he was president of the Velvet Underground Appreciation Society at one time, very experimental, underground kind of stuff, occasionally veering off into kind of inhabiting that gray area of, is this avant-garde? Is this outsider? Is this experimental? What exactly we got going on here? What we don't have going on here is pop music in general. But it's really some really cool stuff, really interesting stuff. Christmas, by the way, also contributed to some things on the like the lyrics by Ernest Noyes Brookings and some things like that. So there is some other Pep Lester, there is some other Phil Milstein, and all of these guys. You find bits of them here and there, but not a whole lot, But all interesting, and just an example of how broadly varied, which you'll really begin to appreciate, I think, if you actually take the time to listen to and watch all these videos, how broad, how varied, and how wide flung David's interests and his musical capacity and his artistic capacity really reaches. He's not the big star of the show, but he's kind of like the character actor who is in everything, and you almost don't even realize how many times you've seen him because he's so good at what he does that he always kind of assumes the identity of what he's doing. I don't know. That doesn't really make sense, but that is, in a way, is David. Not trying to be the big star, not trying to be the top dog or the indie god or the whatever. It's a very different thing with him. Not that he is without a sense of self. He has a very strong sense of self, I think, but he also has a certain capacity to step back and provide that support that sort of actually showcases others, even though he himself deserves every bit as much the attention as any of them.